Yeah, so I want to speak a little bit about transitions. And transitions are rarely easy. I know in my life I've found transitioning from one phase of my life to another phase of my life, I found it quite difficult at times. Especially if I've been feeling kind of safe and comfortable and just okay, if there hasn't really been a need for transition, and yet something else has been calling me to transition into a new phase. And when I look back over my life, I see that the transitions have always led to a lot of growth, or they've led to some experience or something happening which wouldn't have happened had I not taken that bold step. And yet, I was speaking to somebody today, and it was like the analogy of going through a tunnel. Like as you go through these transitions, it's like being in a tunnel. You go through this tunnel and you can't see where you're going, and it's dark, and you're thinking, well, where am I going? What am I doing? I just want to go back. Can I just go back to safety? And yet as we come through that tunnel, and again we begin to see what is on the other side of that tunnel, then it's very hard to go back. It's very hard to unsee what we've seen. And it's very hard to go back to a kind of lesser state of consciousness than the one that we found as we go through the transition. And really, I think these transitions, or these rites of passages, or the hero's journey, or whatever you want to call it, I think these come up at several times in our life. It has been like that for me. And each time there's been so much resistance to doing it, so much fear about doing it. And yet, I just look back and see the gold and the goodness and the gifts that those journeys have brought. But I also know that for some of us who maybe have a lot of trauma in us, then taking away these safety parts, taking away the safety, that can often be re-traumatizing. And many times I've wondered, I could have done this before, I should have done this before, all these kind of things. But actually when I reflect again, I see I couldn't have done it before. I know it's a bit of a spiritual cliche, and I hate spiritual cliches. But that somehow everything does have its right time. And there is a time for just settling and being safe, and living a kind of very grounded, simple, safe life. And there are also times when stepping out of that a little bit and putting ourselves in the line of fire, like raising our head a little bit above the parapet and taking some risks, taking some emotional risks, or something really where we're stepping out of our comfort zone. And I think there's a time for both playing it safe and really regulating our nervous system and kind of just resting. And then there's a time for movement. I know Tony Robbins refers to it as taking massive action. Take massive action, says Tony Robbins. Well, I'm not sure about that. But what I am sure about is that in following our truth, in being true to ourselves, there may come times in our life where we do need to step up. We do need to change something. We do need to take a risk. And the last thing to say is that as we develop the fruits of that, as we get the fruits of that for ourselves, of course we bring those to others. Naturally we bring those to others. So our stepping up, our stepping into, our going through is not just for ourselves, it is also for others. That's been my experience.